What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Mama's Boys podcast with one of your hosts, Omer Surf Clam. Today, we have a very special episode with the strongest powerlifter you probably don't know about, LS Mclain, who won the 93 kilo IPF World's 2018 championships. We're going to get all into that, but we go into so much more, including how he does some cheerleading, coaching that, but also why he doesn't fuck with Kanye West. If you enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a rating and review on iTunes. And if you're watching on YouTube, a like and a comment would be much appreciated. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome to the Mama's Boys podcast. I'm your host, Omar Isaf. My fellow host is Silent Mike, also known as Mike Farr. We have merchandise available for Mama's Boys podcast at mamasboyspodcast.com, as well as you can sign up for our Patreon, where we give exclusive bonus episodes and other content on there. You can find that as well on mamasboyspodcast.com. It feels like, to me, Alice, like when someone says in Dallas, like, how you doing, son? They're like, what are you up to is what they're saying.
Pretty much.
We're in Austin when someone says, how you doing, son? It's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, they want to know.
Yeah.
Where's the real Southern charm? Because I feel like Texas has some of it, but like the Southern draw and all that, Alabama? Or like people talk about Southern hospitality.
Oh, it's pretty much all over Texas. You gotta find the spots. I mean, Dallas, it just depends on the places you go in Dallas, but it's like that in Houston. I think it's like that pretty much any big city you go to.
I mean, people are generally nicer for sure. Like our Ubers are always talking to us way more. Like I take Uber in LA, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, like it's a different vibe down here. But like, I mean, if you want to get that to be 100 with you,
go for it.
That super Southern hospitality, you'll find it pretty much in like the backwoods parts.
Yeah.
The less populated places. Like where I'm from, like West Texas. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
what cities are over there?
West Texas, I'm thinking as far as like real West Texas, like El Paso.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even know what you want to call that. It's not even the same time zone as Texas. It's mountain. But it's like little bitty town like Odessa, like Midland, like Friday Night Lights, that whole thing.
Yeah. That's out there.
That's West Texas, man. Like Snyder, Lubbock, where Texas Tech is and all that stuff.
And that's where you grew up or no?
Yeah, man. That's where I grew up. Like there's literally like damn near zero vegetation.
Yeah.
It's just
meat and sand.
That's it, dude. you get to. We used to. I put it this way: we were little. The wind would blow, and we would chase sagebrush. We would chase like tumbleweeds.
Yeah,
we literally.
That's amazing. Yeah,
like
an authentic, real. I'm picturing almost some Huckleberry Finn style, where it's like.
I mean, I'm telling you, where the desert begins and the vegetation ends. That's where I grew up.
I like what you said, though, the smaller parts of Texas where there's good people to be found all over.
Oh, that's good. But the cool thing about Texas is one thing I will say. You'll see this pretty much anywhere you go, but in Texas, because the bigger cities are starting to grow, a lot of these smaller towns are dying. But if you can find one of these smaller towns, every one of them have at least one spot like this is a spot to go.
Yeah.
Every single one of those little small towns, and because, especially in West Texas, so it's oil based, so everything is the oil field's booming. Those little towns go from 2,000 people to 25,000 people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like in a summer. Yeah. So a lot of it's really oil based. I mean, in crazy enough, clearly it's all West Texas crude. So people come in from all over the place. So you get to meet a lot of different people. But a lot of times they'll come, they'll stay, they'll open up this restaurant, and it'll be the most fire spot ever. And it literally has everything.
Yeah.
Aside from West Texas, I mean, the only other place you'll go to that you'll literally feel like your family is the Valley. And that's like the Rio Grande Valley. That's like South Texas. And so it's heavily Mexican populated.
Yeah.
Heavy Mexican influence. And it's just, I'm telling you, man, you go there, you feel like you're home.
Yeah.
Like, it's, man.
Well, let's get down to the real business. Buc-ee's, bro. You're the one that put me on Buc-ee's, bro. Let the people know about Buc-ee's. I feel like it's so. How is that such a hidden gem? Like everyone knows, like, all right, I'm in California, I'm gonna go eat In-N-Out.
True.
And I don't even like In-N-Out. Another topic for another day. I like it fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But Buc-ee's is another level. Like Texas only. Like that's the
Buc-ee's is Texas.
There's good barbecue here. There's great people here. But Buc-ee's is one of a fucking kind, legit, bro.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be 100 with you right now. Again, you can go get good barbecue at Buc-ee's. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like you can meet good people at Buc-ee's. Like, Buc-ee's is it's starting to become like a Texas institution, much like your Whataburger, Dallas Cowboys. So Buc-ee's is pretty much synonymous with just this Texas lifestyle.
Dude, it's the past, the present, and the future. It's all of it.
It's an institution, man. And so when you go, I'll put it this way: where I live at right now, this is no lie. It's a mile walk from my crib to Buc-ee's.
and you know that.
Have I made that trip? Yes. Have I used that as cardio? Yes. Like that's literally. I'm like, you know what? I want to eat a cinnamon roll, but I know I need to earn it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk out of my door. I'm going to walk a mile up the road.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat the cinnamon roll inside Buc-ee's. And I'm going to walk a mile back. So I put in 2 miles.
That's plenty.
That. Yeah.
That's plenty.
But yeah, but Buc-ee's, man, I mean, on average, I mean, you have like a small, mid, and the big size Buc-ee's. Pretty much your small Buc-ee's are, they're right, almost around like 100, 120 gas tanks.
Yeah.
About 50 diesel dispensaries. I mean, it's they're pretty decent.
What's the average gas station in California? Is probably like 10.
Yeah.
10, 12.
Yeah. So you can take about 20 of those bad boys and send in Buc-ee's. And here's the dope thing about Buc-ee's, man. If you've never been inside of Buc-ee's, they have the absolute cleanest bathrooms ever.
Oh, I didn't go inside the bathroom.
Yeah. Those bathrooms are fire, dude.
Yeah.
And as you walk, again, this is super Texan of us, but as you walk into the Buc-ee's bathrooms, there's Texas art all over the place. And it's all for sale.
That's dope.
Like different Texas artists. We'll use candy, for example. You go to the Buc-ee's, most like local Texas candy companies or people that make, any type of materials in Texas, Buc-ee's buys from them first.
Love supporting local business.
Man, so it's super local. I mean, for God's sake, we have, so to me, it's the funniest part because we have camouflage caramel corn. So you have caramel corn, but it's camouflage.
They have like 30 different flavors of their own popcorn.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
It's literally...
You sold Mike just by that, the popcorn.
Do you have Chuck E. Cheese? Do you have Chuck E. Cheese?
I've been there.
I'm sold on Buc-ee's. So it's like Chuck E. Cheese, a gas station in Disneyland had a kid.
That's amazing.
That's what it is.
That's amazing.
And then that kid happened to mate with Walmart.
Now, how frequent is a Buc-ee's in Texas?
Buc-ee's... I think of right now, South Texas.
Because they're not in cities, right? They're kind of just outside.
They're like just outside.
We'll hit one tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a few, like you'll run into a couple actually, like on the way to Houston, you run into one on the way to Dallas. The smart move is like they're pretty much along the I-10 and I-35.
Yeah.
Our major Texas highways. I think there's one along 20, pretty sure. But yeah, that's just where you find them, man. And I don't know. It's hard to explain it. Like when you see it, you're like, all right, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's shops there, we talked about Brandon before.
Yeah.
No joke. Brandon Wells is an absolute fanatic of a Buc-ee's.
Love it.
Mind you, Buc-ee's, the closest Buc-ee's is like by my crib. So it's like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And this dude will make a trip. People do this. Make a trip from Austin all the way to New Braunfels just to go to Buc-ee's.
That's amazing.
They hyped it up this big, and me and Connor are like, nah, all right. And it still didn't. My expectations, it still overreached my expectations.
That's amazing. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, Brian Dorsey was the same way though.
Yeah.
I talked about Buc-ee's from when we did that De Novo trip, from pretty much from California to New Mexico. I talk about Buc-ee's like, bro, wait till you go.
You see this gas station? This is a piece of shit.
12-hour driving.
I'm like, I remember my first gas station.
Yeah, that's pretty cute. Yeah, that's cute.
And then we get to Buc-ee's like, dude, this is
unreal. How every gas station should be.
Yeah, man, it's unreal.
Let me ask you this, Ellis. When you said, I think you said it's very Texas. If you had to define what Texas is, or being a Texan, or different traits, how would you define it?
Big personality.
Yeah.
Big personality.
Yeah.
Super welcoming.
Yeah.
Honestly, football.
Yeah.
And guns, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's
freedom is what I'm hearing.
It's really, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is something that me and my buddies just talk about all the time, especially in high school, because I mean that's what you talk about in high school in the locker room, I guess. At one point, a Texan kid will tell you straight up, we're more likely, if we're to go down right now, we're more likely to go to bat for Texas than we would be for America. Straight up. Yeah. I wish I were joking right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you had to pick right now between your state and your country, okay. That's not even a choice. Texas first.
Well, it's funny. I've seen two signs now where, you know, a lot of other places in America, I'll see God Bless America, you know, where it's like, been to Florida, Ohio, you know, Los Angeles, all these different places, California, various parts. But in Texas, I've seen at least two signs now that says God bless Texas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not God bless America. No, but it's basically Texas first. Yeah. That's
yeah, and I mean, even to the point, this is real.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know if you may have been paying attention or not, but if you drive through Texas and you see the American flag, Texas flag, they're same height.
Yeah.
You don't fly a flag below the American flag.
I think some people even complain about that, like other states.
It's not gonna happen. What they gonna happen? Come and say it to our face.
A genuine sense of pride, man.
I mean, because it was a country we got added to another country. It wasn't a state or anything like that. Like it was. Yeah, well, you want us to be a part of America? Okay, we'll come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, pretty much, that's how it went down. So, it's just kind of cool. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, the only other place I've ever been in this United States that's even halfway comparable to Texas in terms of just pride, just blind pride, would be like Brooklyn.
I think cities have that pride, but not
like
states.
Brooklyn, like in the Bronx. I'll say the Bronx. Like, if you find somebody from Brooklyn or the Bronx, like, oh, BK, stand up.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, like NYC is probably the only place that you'll go in the United States that really just you know what I mean?
They have it.
Oh yeah. Like Yankees to be 0-95.
And everyone's still going.
They're still
Yankee
fitted.
We got some of that shit in Toronto where New York, the vibe I absolutely loved when I went there. Stayed in Brooklyn and then we stayed in Manhattan. Toronto, we have a hockey team. I don't follow hockey, but hockey is huge in Canada.
True.
And they could just be sucking and it'll be sold out every year. And the ticket price of them versus our basketball team, the Raptors, who actually do make the playoffs.
True.
They're not great, but, you know, they're at least making the playoffs.
They're not going to be great anymore. It was like ever DeRozan. That was a dumb.
What are they going to Kawhi, though, bro?
Who?
I like Kawhi.
He hadn't played.
I like Kawhi.
Yeah. Kawhi likes the bench, too, because he was just chilling. How you going to get a Jordan dropped after you and then you don't even play?
Bro, I think he's going to be good this year, dude.
He better be had a lot of rest.
Bro.
He's well rested.
Young, fresh.
But, so... our team, the Maple Leafs, people will still pay the $300 for a seat to watch them lose. I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, you know what? But that's like that with the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, I think
for sure.
I feel like every section has like their jewel. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's you know, I watched that Carter Effect, and kind of like, you know, how Vince Carter had such a huge impact on, you know,
Toronto.
on this, you know, basketball in Canada and everything, which was still to this day just one of the most impactful documentaries I've ever seen. But I mean, when you down to the, I guess, brass tacks, it's just straight up, that's the jewel. You know what I mean? Maple Leafs, they're the jewel. You know what I mean? And you can't. I hear more about the Maple Leafs than I do anything else in Canada. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Dallas Mavericks.
You know, you hear more about the
Cowboys.
You can talk about the Cowboys all day. You know what I mean? So everybody has their thing. You know what I mean? Like if you think about Texas, I guarantee you they'll say Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And people, you go to another country. You know what I mean? Aside from anywhere in North America, but you go to a lot of other countries, they still think we walk. You know, we ride horses and everything else in Texas. You know what I mean? Whereas there's some towns that they do. Not gonna lie. They're still like, I mean, because a lot of these counties have. They have this like a higher degree of autonomy, so they still kind of make their own laws, and so it's a lot of laws. Like in my old place, my town where I grew up, I mean, there's still like laws about, you know, having your horse tied up to a trough without being unattended and all that stuff. I mean, there's still real laws.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so a lot of these places like, you know, Texas, Toronto, you know, California, I guess would be Lakers
a little bit.
You got
Lakers,
you know. So I mean, I think every place has their gym. You know what I mean? Like, you know, with Texas, I mean, we just. Clearly, you have like, you know, your barbecue, you have your Cowboys, you have your guns, you have your flag and pride. Pride in itself is Texas.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. You go anywhere, you know. So if you talk to a person, they don't necessarily know a lot about Texas. You can tell right from the jump, like, you're not from around here.
There's some states though that like have nothing.
No.
You know,
Delaware, Why are you trying to talk shit about Delaware?
Or you're going like Idaho. You're like, oh, potatoes.
Yeah,
you got potatoes. So even though they do have a spot, they have like their In-N-Out. I forgot what it's called, but like Spud something. There's some hella good fries though. Hella good.
Oh, I can imagine, but I mean, it's not some place I would want to like live. I'm not hating.
How do you evaluate that, Alice? Because you said you went to Toronto, you liked it. Like, what do you look for in a city then? Like, what made you like Toronto as an example?
Low key with Toronto, I can tell you that Toronto feels a lot like Austin. It feels like a big Austin in that, it's super multicultural.
Yeah.
The people are very welcoming.
Yeah.
Like, super welcoming. The thing that impressed me about Toronto the most, and I mean, I'm going to sound shallow, is can be like,
the girls are beautiful.
People in general were just beautiful, dude. There were so many beautiful people in Toronto. Like, I couldn't even front. I'm like, dude, that guy, you see that guy? Like, you see that dude? Oh my God, look at that girl. Did you see that girl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy because, I mean, here of late, you think of Toronto like, oh, Drake. That's what
I got a whole rant about Drake going.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, but there's so much more to the city than Drake. You know what I mean? And
Thank you, Alice.
Like, don't get me wrong, this dude, I rock with Drake heavy. I'm not gonna front. I'm sitting and pretend like I'm not a fan because I'm a super fan. But this dude has written songs about everywhere. He holds down Houston just as hard as he does Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or UK, he's going to Kentucky games acting like he's on the team.
Like, bro, you can't even lay up. Chill out. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, we played UK yesterday.
Football.
Volleyball.
Oh, volleyball.
Yeah, we gathered them for a first match, and they first set, and it was a wrap after that.
How are their other sports on? Obviously, basketball.
I mean, they better be fairly decent. SEC. Oh, they beat Florida. Yeah, I mean, football.
Oh, really?
They got at him, dude.
This weekend, I didn't pay attention. We were podcasting all day. Our boy Brandon Lidley was working with the UK football for a while.
Yeah, my buddy actually, believe it or not, he just sent me a picture with him and Brandon Lilly a couple of days ago. I was like, dude, you know Brandon Lilly? I'm like, I mean, who doesn't? If you lift a weight, you know who he is.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. Like, with every place has their gym, but for sure. I mean, I'm sure that you have tons to speak on with Drake.
Yeah.
I mean,
nothing I say that's offensive, but you know what it was, Ellis, is that as you got the read, I think, of Toronto, where Toronto is, to me, a gem, where there's so many positives about it. Co-branding yourself with Toronto. So Drake basically co-opted Toronto, made it his own, where it's like, I rep the 6. It's like, you're declaring it for yourself. Fun fact, Ellis, where Drake's from is like the ritzy part, like Forest Hills called.
Yeah.
It's a very nice part of Toronto.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't represent Toronto properly, where there's different parts like Parkdale, like where I grew up on Sherbourne and so forth, where like that's Toronto like through and through.
But that's better than him not repping. He
for
does
sure.
It out
but
of
it's
respect.
like you picked a winner, bro. I'm just saying, it's like for Drake, it's like you picked a winner picking Toronto.
Sure.
You know? It's
but
like,
that's
and fun inside. Sorry, Mike, not to cut you off. One thing I was going to say, it's like he's acting also like he really knows Toronto deep. Where there's a place that I go, I love like jerk chicken, Caribbean food. And there's this place called The Real Jerk that he filmed with Rihanna, a music video called Work. And I've been going there for years. Everyone there is super chill. And the waitress was telling me, because they were like working while he was filming, like they wanted like background people, all that stuff. And she basically said, I've never seen this fool in my life. Like into, but like, like he's like representing like a part, like it's a spot in Toronto. Like, yeah, man, me and The Real Jerk. It's like, man, you don't know about this. It's
like you don't know about that life.
I nobody saw you here ever before.
Yeah,
I do think it's better than him not repping though. I mean,
that's true. I will say
that being said,
that's like LeBron. LeBron's not from Cleveland.
No,
but he reps Cleveland hard. I mean, Akron's 45 to an hour and a half
away from. But I mean, and I will say that because he was like, I'm just giving Akron. At least he'll hold it down. But like Drake, you never hear Drake say anything other than Toronto from the 6. Like, but here's the thing, man. Like Cardinal Official he's been repping 6 from Jump Street. Yeah. And I mean, again, this is just me because I am a hip hop head. Like, I'm saying, like, you can't necessarily rep the 6 and you got to throw Tory Lanez in there.
For sure.
Dude, that dude, he's so nasty with it.
Yeah.
Like, he's just nasty with it. So I'm just like, I mean, I understand people want to equate, Toronto with Drake, but I mean, there's artists that have been putting it down far before
Drake. He just busted borders. I don't know if we talked about it on here, but I've talked about a lot of friends. Like Drake, what he's done is pop music now is hip hop. And a lot of that's because of Drake.
Oh, without a doubt.
Where like in the 90s, early 2000s, pop music tended to be alternative rock. But he crossed a border that some guys like Eminem and them couldn't because they were a little too vicious. And so like, I mean, he's one of the biggest influencers of our time.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and the thing is like, I think Ice Cube had said it at one point. He was like, you know, you get about 3 or 4 years and then you're done. You know what I mean? And he was like, I mean, look at Lil Wayne. He did it. And, you know, because and I think that was when, what was the last beef Drake just had?
He just made up the Meek one.
No, it was after Meek.
They just hugged each other.
Pusha T.
Yeah, it was a Pusha T one. Like, so when that was popping off, it was like, well, you know, I mean, I guess Pusha got at Drake pretty decent. Like, I mean, I guess this might be the end of Drake.
Yeah, no way.
No way.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Drake's not regular. That's like somebody trying to beef with Beyonce at this point.
Yeah. And Beyonce's already been immortal. Like, she's established.
Yeah, which they did. Kanye kind of threw at Beyonce and Jay-Z for a second.
Yeah, he tried, and then how well did that work?
But they did just announce. You know what he just announced, bro?
What? I don't even mess with Kanye, dude.
Oh, really? He announced he announced his second album with Jay-Z.
Oh, Watch the Throne 2?
No, really?
That dude's trash. I don't mess with Kanye. I promise you, man. He gets no radio play.
Hey, you want to hear something else? So, Toronto, June. By the way, just a quick, when you come back up to Toronto, quick tip, like where you say about like Texas, this and that. When we say Toronto, we don't say Toronto. We just like, it's like a slur, like Toronto. Like that. Right. Is that the way it is?
But then that makes me a faker.
No. But you're part of it. You're cool.
Oh, okay.
You're definitely Toronto welcome.
That's like when somebody's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to New Orleans. Like,
yeah, New Orleans.
No, man. I just thought you're good.
Do you mean New Orleans, my friend?
No, you're good people.
Yeah, because I would feel like a straight faker. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my really good friends. Shout out Jay. I see you, baby. One of my really good friends. He's from Toronto.
Yeah,
I tried. I suck at it. But yeah, he's from T-Dot. And so dude, I'm talking, I mean, reps it to the fullest.
Yeah.
And so and kind of like you ran about Drake, was like, man, that dude, he ain't even from around.
Yeah. That's an inside Toronto. Like, you grew up in Toronto and you see, you're like you see the steps. What I was gonna say is we had this whole big debate in Toronto in June when Mike came up with Connor, where some of that stuff was going out, where, you know, Kanye said like slavery was a choice, but like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I'm just like, man, like I said, Kanye is a fool, right?
Dude,
and the opposite
also
side,
say all the time that you separate artists from their art.
Yes,
yeah, which is what I do.
Right.
Like, do I want to hang out with Kanye? No. Do I like some of his music? Yeah.
At the same, it's like my larger point is like what he's doing is more harmful than good. So the net effect, even if this is my opinion, even if he's producing content, even if his song's so dope, I'm like, yeah, but by supporting that person, it's a cult of personality.
You said the exact opposite the other day.
We should be
hours ago.
We should be able to separate, but to the point where it's so detrimental that their outlook overshadows their music, then it's no longer about the music.
No, dude.
In my opinion,
you literally just said the opposite. Literally within 6 hours. So which one is it? Which one do you believe in?
So I'll give you a hypothetical example. And I know, like, I hate as soon as you bring up a Hitler example, you automatically lose. In my opinion, where you're like, well, like a Nazi thing, like, and it's like, all right, man, you're an idiot.
What was the first thing not to cut you off, but with anytime somebody mentions Hitler, and you automatically just turn off, like, hold on. First of all, time out in the game. I was looking at black and white. Black and white with Hitler, okay? Not necessarily about like his views, whatever, but in terms of him as a leader and what he was able to accomplish as a leader, you got to give props.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's
like,
not a dumbass.
You know, I mean, he wasn't stupid. You know what I mean? And anytime you can get masses to follow your views, follow what you want, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So when you make it just black and white, the dude had awesome leadership skills. Now, in terms of what he did with those leadership skills, it is.
A rotten soul, sure.
Yeah. In that case, like, you're on the other side of the tracks. But as far as what he was able to do is, so for me, it's always hard when somebody's like, well, mention Hitler, and then people are like, oh, wait, you can't mention Hitler. Well, actually, if you just like view it from like, hey, man, with the man's impact in terms of what he was able to do, that's just, not the negative part, but just like how he was able to I liken it to politics. Right? I was liking like a lot of things like with the Hitler thing to politics. If you're able to reach out to a mass of people, and let's say you're doing it for an amazing deed, you know, that had his ideas been for something amazing, like, you know, we want to help a full race of people instead of, you know, destroying a race of people.
Yeah, bring people
together.
together.
we want to help a race of people, you know. We obviously wouldn't be a completely different story, but imagine a president, or imagine, a congressman or whatever that's able just to just rally the masses to do something, the most amazing thing ever. Man, you're going to view him as like just one of the greatest leaders that ever lived. You know what I mean? MLK, for example.
Yeah.
one of the greatest leaders that ever lived. But had MLK message been completely different, you know what I mean? Like, oh, let's destroy white people, let's kill everybody. You know what I mean? Like, black people rise up, blah, blah, blah. Like, there was some black leaders that felt that way.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And they butted heads with MLK. But had his massive message been of a completely not nonviolent, but rather just pro-violent from the beginning, and he was able to get millions and millions and millions of people to react that way, then we would be singing a completely different tune about him. You know what I mean? And of course, same thing with Hitler. Had his message been something completely different, again, it'd be you know what I mean? Again, that's a completely tangent or whatever. I get what you're saying. Like but I always because I've even done that. Like in the past, I'd always be like, here you go, I'm trying to use Hitler. You know what? Gets no radio play. Yeah. So I've tried to be a little bit more open in terms of at least let me hear what you have to say.
You should be able to talk about anything and reference it in whatever way you want. And
I mean, people are so sensitive.
It's 2018, bro. You can't say shit. But to say that Hitler was smart as shit, and you should just be able to say that. I think that doesn't mean to have anything against any other person.
So the example, he's the most synonymous where you want to equate something with evil, but we could say just as easily, because I know people that'd be on the right. It's like, well, why you got to bring up Hitler? It's like, what about Mao, for instance, in China, who did commit a lot of atrocities, or Stalin, right? They're left and right, both sides. So just pick
Mussolini. You could go down,
Pick whatever a leader that was atrocious for their people. Doesn't matter who you want in your head. It's like, but if that person contributed some form of art, like some sort of thing, let's say Hitler had Mein Kampf or whatever. It's like, can you really separate to an extreme? If we want to go all the way down that road, Kanye's just here, he's chilling. But I mean, all the way far down there, it's like, should we always be able to separate? It's like, you know what, man? It's like, that's my favorite song. It's like Stalin, when he released that beat, it was the best beat ever.
I think it's up to the individual. I think if a person can openly do that, then allow the person to openly do that. Who's to say that someone can't? I love Michael Jackson, but it sounds like he did some weird shit.
Oh yeah,
but he's my favorite guy ever. And what he did arguably is way worse than what Kanye's done.
Oh yeah,
if all that's true, so why can't I like his music if I want to like his music?
Oh no, for sure. I'm saying everyone has the right to choose. That's the ability, and that's what I was saying. And you can have the ability to separate those two. As a buying consumer, I choose who I support with my dollars.
True story.
Right? And so in that respect, I won't support that person with my dollars. You can pick who you like, and that's awesome. That's cool. It's like, but that's how we directly support certain things. We rise up certain things, other things fall. So I use that example.
I don't think that way, because I think you go down a hairy slope once you start to say like my dollars support everything, because people can rip you apart.
Oh yeah,
people can rip you apart. Like, oh, you have this, you have that. That was made there. This was made here. This was that.
To be a more conscious consumer, I think we could all try and be. When it's so in your face, like when it's thrown in your face, like he's saying something, it's like, well, now I'm confronted with it.
Well, like with the whole Yeezy thing, I was just like, bro, you literally say slavery was a choice. Like, just
do you think that had the effect on Yeezys? Yeezys are dying hard.
Yes and no. I'll say this. Part of the reason, the timing was he was just dumb. You know what I mean? And
they released too much.
I cop Yeezy. I literally cop a pair of Yeezys just to flip them. You know what I mean? Like you're not actually getting my dollars. I'm actually using you to get more dollars.
But I'm exploiting you, bro.
Yeah, but on the real, I mean, I hadn't rocked with Kanye for quite some time.
Musically, human, both.
Both. Fair. Like, perfectly. He was just a perfect fool for me. So I'm like, you know what, man? I mean, there's like, you have like 4 songs. I'm like, yo, this dude did his thing with these 4 songs. And don't get me wrong, he was a dope producer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and to an extent, he still is. The part that really pisses me off right now is that he produced Nas's latest album. Let me tell you, like, Nas is my absolute favorite. Yeah. And the hardest thing for me to do right now is not listen to the album.
I haven't really listened to it either.
I absolutely love Nas.
I respect you not like making that choice not to.
Yeah, dude. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When it first dropped, before I knew that Kanye had produced it, I almost had the whole thing memorized. Like, and then when I heard like he's like so here's to the Kanye produced. I'm like, Kanye did this. I recognize this pattern. I recognize these beats. I recognize the way the sampling is going. This is Kanye. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that the 808 and Heartbreak crap Kanye. It's like that old school throwback early sample. Like, ooh, this is that's that old that we used to rock with, super heavy. It's like post H the Izzo Kanye. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. So when it hit me, I'm like, oh, dude, this is, oh man. So I had to
if you liked it.
Love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight faced man to man. I absolutely love that album. I mean, of course, it is Nas, and a lot of people just didn't like it because it wasn't necessarily that hardcore Brooklyn, hardcore, New York style that people are used to with Nas. But Absolutely love it. I love how he laces a track with his voice. It is what it is. But again, like, because I don't rock with Kanye that hard, because I just cannot rock with dude, like, man, I just can't listen to it. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, to the point, like, it's almost hard for me to even rock Adidas. And we're in Adidas school. So I work from, like, I can't rock these Adidas, man. Kanye.
Let me ask you this, Ellis, when you said first, so, maybe slavery was his choice, was the final nail in the coffin. But when you said he was acting the fool, because I brought up a few points, but I'm speaking as an outsider, someone that, is a Canadian also. There's a lot of variables where I'm removed outside, right? So it's like an outside
non-black Canadian. Right. You don't know this life.
You don't know what's going on here. So one of the things that I said that I thought it was harmful about his Twitter is the fact where just a few of the things he was saying about books, where he's like, I don't read books because they try and infect you with their thoughts. Yeah. There's various things like that where I'm like, I don't think when that person stood up in TMZ and said, I don't think you're fully thinking about what you're about to say. It's like, that's how I feel. And it's dangerous.
He lit into him too. Yeah,
to be a fool with that level of a platform. But that's my perspective.
Without a doubt, I'm with you. I mean, because here's my thing. I believe books are they're absolute amazing, like literary works of art. They're art. It's art. Books are art. Authors that find inspiration and are able to put pen to pad or quill to pad or whatever, and create these beautiful works of art. They're artists, So, but Kanye can sit here and say that I'm Steve Jobs, I'm this guy, I'm that guy, I'm this artist. I'm like, wait a minute, those same works of art that you're seeing, be that works of art, maybe it is Apple. Yeah. Maybe it is, Microsoft, whatever. But those guys are artists in their own right as well. Sure. You know what I mean? How can you separate one form of art from another? Art is art, my man. Yeah. And regardless if you're reading it, if you're looking at it, if you're feeling it, eating it, typing on it, that work of art is going to inspire you or inspire someone else in some form or fashion. But to say that you don't read books, that they're trying to figure out, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot.
So what was it for you, Alice, when you said it's been for years? Like what's
anytime a man can sit there straight face and call himself a genius.
So many times, like that level of ego.
Yeah,
is it Alice?
I'm the voice of a generation. What generation, bro? What is this? It was just he's just going to rant. And again, it is my opinion, me and my man's. It was my opinion that really after his mom passed, that's when it kind of, what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't sit here straight face and be like, hey man, if my mom were to pass, just suddenly I wouldn't lose it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd probably, they'd have me locked up in a padded cell. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, we're mama's boys too, bro.
You know what I mean? So it'd be a wrap for society. Anybody I came in contact with, I'm gonna tell you right now, like you're probably gonna die. You're gonna see her. Yeah. I'd lose it. Like I'm just not prepared. So I know for a fact that part of that has to play a part in it. You know what I mean? And it was sudden. You know what I mean? It was from plastic surgery, dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's unexpected.
Yeah, it's like super unexpected. And almost to an extent, it's almost like didn't necessarily have to happen.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
I mean? And not saying it was like vanity based, but like, man, for somebody to pass off of something that it's an option rather than a necessity, you know what I mean? That hurts. Yeah. So I know that, that has, to mess with anyone's mind. So in my opinion, like after that happened, that's when he really started kind of going downhill. Even his music got just different. Dark, just whatever. So for me, it was just constant L's. Like, all right, you know what? I can't rock with dude. Yeah. Then he would come back with, one good song here and there, like, oh, that's kind of fire. But then, he would say something that was just so outlandish. And I'm like, dude, who are you? Yeah. So,
you think it's a publicity though? And does that change your opinion?
And here's if it is, it's cool. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're doing this for pub, cool. But how are you a genius? How are you such a great artist, but you have to use your antics to sell?
That might be genius in itself, though.
You know what I mean?
The publicity itself might be genius.
But you're saying the works of art should speak for themselves rather than...
man. Again, example. We use Michael Jackson. Now, again, what he did or didn't do, horrible. And I'm not smiling but I know the point I'm trying to get to.
I want to tell Dave Chappelle a joke about Michael Jackson right now.
Right? Like, so the stuff he did was horrible. But to this day, you can't play a Michael Jackson cut right now, and 99.9% of the people in the room like, oh my,
bro, you're telling me.
Doesn't matter who you are. Like I've seen it with my own two eyes. There's a lot of people that don't, even freaking, there's been some messed up stuff happening just in the music biz altogether. You know what I mean? Like Jerry Lee Lewis, he was with his freaking, he's with I think his cousin.
Yeah.
He's with his cousin.
Well, Athletics, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
That gets swept under the rug.
He played himself.
That gets swept under the rug.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
What happened with Kobe?
Kobe got
the
rape,
affair.
Rape.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah, affair. That's rape.
Yeah, and Kobe just. Let me stack a couple more rings behind my name.
He was Kobe then and after, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we forgive cults of personality no matter what.
Yeah,
when you achieve a certain level of success.
Yeah, dude. Michael Jordan had hella hoes all through his career.
A gambling addiction, drinking
That's
addiction.
what's so cool, it seems, about LeBron. Like, even as an outsider that doesn't follow a lot of...
Don't even get me started on LeBron.
Being a good person, right?
Dude.
I've heard he's a dick.
No, he's a...
I've heard he's a dick.
What? Go. Okay. See, outsider.
Okay.
Go on.
I've heard conflicting things about LeBron. Again, it's not like I know the dude. It's not like we.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just some of his actions, I'm kind of like, come on, bro, relax.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say about LeBron that it's hard to really not do, because he has the same spotlight that everyone else has. Okay, let's just say that all stars, all celebrities they all have the same spotlight on them. You know what I mean? While he's in the spotlight, he does the right things, says all the right things. What is he like now? Is like he's moved up to number 6 most charitable athlete of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like has his own school. Just on top.
I know people are plugging him for that, though. I don't know the details. I wish I did, but it was like he's only funding like 10% or something.
Yeah,
of that. Like the state and other things are funding the rest of it.
But who funds? Deion Sanders started his own school. But at some point, you can't fund the whole thing. But,
for sure.
Again, he doesn't advertise that he's completely funding the school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you got tons of artists that they try to get things going. Inner City Chicago. Chance the Rapper does a bunch of different things. Like, all right, I'll donate my first $1 million. Now I need everybody else to come in on this. You know what I mean? So, but the fact that he's getting the ball rolling, like getting to school, and he just dropped the LeBron 16 with the top 16 women that are influential to him in his life. I thought that's pretty sick. You know, and he does a lot of just super sick things. I think that athletes don't necessarily have to do, but regardless if it's him or if it's publicist or somebody in his camp, that like, hey man, we need to do this.
Yeah.
At some point, as I guess the face of the brand, the face of your own brand, you get to say yes or no.
True.
And he said yes to a lot of super dope things. I think, so I've heard that he was a dick. I've heard that, he's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
But at the same
it's
time,
hard when you're that big though, where like people here, it's like you might run into him. It's like he's seen now like 1,000 people throughout the week.
Man,
so you might be a dick to one person, and that one person story.
It just takes one person. One person affects affects like 9 to 20 people. Like, oh, dude, dog. You know what I mean? Those people will.
He'll tell that story all the time.
Oh yeah,
they'll
tell it every time because that's their claim to fame for a little bit. Like, oh yeah, I met LeBron. He was a dick, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where with guys like LeBron, Kobe, MJ, Tiger Woods, you know what I mean? Like we can go down the line of like all these big name athletes that are super influential throughout throughout sports history that have done just some super shady shit, from day one. LeBron had been one of those. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It seems,
Come on.
It seems Kevin Hart shit's coming out. It comes everywhere.
Yeah, it hits everybody, but the fact that the guy's been able to keep his nose clean this long,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and if he can, here's the thing: if he can retire, if he can retire with no L on his record, like that in itself, like, dude, you should be in all of that's a super victory.
I guess I just humanize and empathize with all of them, kind of like you brought up Kanye's mom, Jordan's dad. Like everyone said Jordan started getting a little weird with drinking and gambling after his dad passed. I guess I just see it all, and I just take that as like, all right, they're human, and then I take their art for what their art is. And I think it's when you become more than a fan, when they start becoming more to you than just that artist. Yeah, I'm not like that with anybody though.
No one excites me. A difference.
Yeah, no one excites me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But again, you're different from a lot of people because you're damn near a celebrity your damn self. I'm not hating. And I'm not, I'm saying what it is. It is what it is. Because I'm on the outside looking in like, bro, you're on celeb status. You know what I'm saying? Like both of you two. So it's like, it's not supposed to excite you because that's your idols are your equals. You know what I'm saying? Or some people's idols are your equals, I should say. So it's kind of cool again because I know you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, he's out there smashing themselves right now. This is dope. oh my God, they're out killing the game. And like, this is, for me, like, again, because the fitness industry is, it's not it's huge, but it's not like on this level. Like, it's not NBA, it's not NFL, it's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's its weird own niche.
Yeah, it's its own. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're a super small subculture that, we're pretty much fueled off of the whole idea of vanity. Yeah. And what, how you can be.
And
you're not lying.
Yeah.
You're not lying.
Like, vanity is our coal, for our combustible engine here. So, or coal engine, I should say. So when on the outside looking in and watching you guys do your thing, I'm like, oh, this is fire. You know what I mean? And, like, you having your Reebok thing and everything like that. Like, there's dudes right now that have been in the league, NFL, CFL, NBA, CBA, overseas, that don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dude, eat. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's probably one of the coolest things to see and watch, just watch your growth. Well, of course, they should impress you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you're at a level right now where, like, you know what, I'm gonna keep making these moves. I'm gonna keep eating on these fools. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep podcasting. I'm gonna keep meeting these people, kissing these babies, shaking these hands, rubbing these elbows, and doing whatever I gotta do. You know what I mean? To not necessarily for clout. It's not necessarily about a clout score, but it's
they're growing.
You're trying to go. You both. You're trying to grow. You're trying to grow. You're trying to grow. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy to watch. So like, you shouldn't. I don't think anybody should really just be really super impressed with a celebrity or whatever, because they're just normal ass people.
Yeah, I just never been like that much of a fanhood.
Yeah, and the thing is, celebrities, they're celebrities, whatever, but they're normal people that make normal mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what, Kobe got on the broad, and you know what I'm saying, ended up being raped. You know what? I had a partner that same thing happened to him, but you know what? He was a second string running back. Somebody cared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just him, the judge, and tap tap tap. Guess what? You're going away for a minute. You know what I'm saying? There's another girl that she pulled the caper on 2 or 3 football dudes, and come to find out she was straight lying. You know what I mean? And so guess what? You're going to jail. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, they're not in the limelight. They're not thrust in the limelight. But I mean, this stuff happens all the time to a bunch of regular people. Yeah. They just don't happen to be making millions. They don't have millions of people following them. But doesn't change the fact that, these are just regular human beings. And I think at the end of the day, you can see enough celebrities and you can be around enough like dope events and dope people and do a lot of dope things to a point where, like, all right, cool. Hey, man, I just saw LeBron. That's what's up. Oh, I just saw Jordan. That's what's up. Oh, I just saw Kobe. Oh, that's what's up. But they're just regular people.
Yeah. You just recently threw your hat more in the mix over the last couple of years. You've been powerlifting a while, made a name for yourself, like athletically. But we were even just talking pre-podcast. You're hopping in the content game. You didn't understand it before. We don't understand it still.
We still don't understand what we're doing.
But now it seems like you're enjoying it, which is cool to see.
It's super enjoyable. I think I'm not gonna front again. Because you're able to watch so many people do it. I mean, I've ever watch you guys do your thing. I'm like, oh, this is fire. I like what they're doing. I can't do that, but I can do something like that kind of. I'm not sure. And you'll see like the evolution of Kobe. You see the evolution of LeBron, who's able to do it while. And that, honestly, I'm not gonna front. That's where I got my idea.
Yeah. Like, building businesses while they're competing.
Build what I have. Build what I want while I'm able to do it. But let's be real. How many athletes, are able to build their brand and set themselves up for the future while still being at the top of their game?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know what I mean? And there's a handful of them that are able to do it. And at some point there was a dip in their production. I mean, Tiger was probably at the height of his popularity and his ability.
Tiger, that's a rough one.
And Lance. And Lance Armstrong.
And Lance, But the thing is, Lance was, he was on that juice the whole time. Like, he's doing this little dope. You know what I'm saying?
There are levels to this shit where it's like Tiger's infidelity. Lance is like, you're cheating in the sport you're playing.
Yeah, Tiger might have been on some shit. People said he benched like 385. Oh,
yeah.
People said he benched 385.
385?
Bro, I saw it. Tiger was I'm going to be 100 with you right now. Yeah. When I saw, and I'm not saying for sure Tiger.
No. We just talk shit.
I'm not saying Tiger's on that.
Tiger, you're clean, bro. Whatever.
But when I saw Tiger, like, it was the second time I saw him. The first time I saw him, he was like fresh out of Stanford doing his thing. And I was like, I just want to see a black man play.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was pretty fire. But the second time I saw dude, it was like at the height of it all, like before he got caught with all the hoes and prostitutes and everything else. When I saw him, like, this dude is not small. He's not a small.
No, his legs were popping, bro. He had some veins.
Bro, I'm telling you, straight vascular, freaking.
The vascularity is always a sign.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You're playing golf, bro. Why are you so vascular?
Like, where's those lats come from? You don't need those lats. You know what I mean? But like, and there was a point where Tiger was driving. His drives are just as long as a professional driver. Like, that was, to me, that was like, dude, this dude is driving, 300-400 yards. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's guys that get paid. All they do is drive only.
Yeah, they have special drivers, special balls.
Shitting on him. I'm like, golly. He just happened to have a little bit of putting game. You know what I mean? So I just was like, man, this dude is not human. But again,
he wasn't caught.
Yeah, and at that level, dude, I'm gonna be 100 really. I feel like at that level, almost everybody is, but I don't know. That's why I'm hating. Yeah. Not everybody is.
There's a higher likelihood.
There's a higher likelihood that people are because they can afford it. Two, it's more readily available, and three, more importantly, because they're a professional athlete, you're trying to be at the top of your game for as long as physically possible to make as much of that paycheck as possible. Yeah. And I mean, the key with any athlete, doesn't matter if you're strength sports, it doesn't matter if you're NBA, NFL, it doesn't matter, is your recovery. Yeah. And how close and how prevalent your injury-free days are. That's it.
Golf's wild, man. People don't talk about it, but the money pools that are in golf every single weekend, and you're not beat up like playing a Sunday football game. No. Like you
can make a lot.
You can make insane amount. I think Tiger might be top one richest athlete ever.
Yeah. Like he's up there. Yeah,
it's like him and like Messi and shit. Yeah, like Ronaldo.
And the part that tripped me out was like I got to. Then we went to the Byron Nelson up in Dallas. I'm like, these cats aren't really making that much money. I mean, how much can you get for last place? These dudes are not only are they making the entry fee back, but you can literally go make last place every
golf pro PGA.
Yeah, PGA.
Yeah, you make $50,000
at least.
Yeah, $50,000 every weekend. You could play for 12 weekends in a row. If you suck,
you literally can be six figures.
The worst of the best.
And just be freaking what's it?
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Imagine going to the IPF and like just placing like dead last at Worlds, and it's like here's $20,000, man. Yeah. You're like, oh
man, give me $20. You know what I mean?
But, buy me dinner.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like don't make me pay for my trip. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's so rough, man.
But some countries they get the little stipend, and their countries take care of them to an extent. But I mean. And this is the thing. I mean, even with the IPF thing, I'm like, all right, cool. This is the top that you can do as far as like, I guess, raw powerlifting and whatever, like, go to the IPF and win it and all that good stuff. But let's be 100. Like, I know that like athletes expect like, we want our countries to take care of us. We want to pay us. Okay, cool. My view is always like, well, how do they treat Olympic athletes?
Not that that's in my head right now, because you get a stipend, small.
Yeah,
they'll pay your travel obviously if you're going to the Olympics, but your money's come from sponsorships and commercials.
Yeah. You know what I mean. So
they're not doing it either.
If they're not like just
America,
America's not just having their Olympians ball out. What do you think you're gonna do as a powerlifter?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I wonder what it's like other countries.
Oh, other countries, they
get paid.
They get it.
Mexican Olympic soccer team.
They get it.
Like Russian powerlifting team. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like other.
we're talking Olympic team.
Olympic teams, like some. Like I mean, I got a couple buddies right now that they're Olympic athletes. You know what I mean, and not even with. I mean, again, kind of like we talked about with the PGA. Like if once you get professional, you go on that tour.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can eat a little bit. You know what I mean? And I mean, in your countries, like they'll send like that monthly stipend, you know what I mean? And if you're a single person, like, you're all right. But again, it just kind of depends on the country, it kind of depends on their budget, and it kind of depends on how much they value you as an athlete.
Yeah, if you're winning and shit.
We're in the States, so I mean, let's be 100. Like there's like, there's well over 300 million of us here. Yeah. Okay. And there's, at least 40 different sports that people are split up amongst, at least 40. I mean, the major sports, I guess you call them major sports, aside from the basketball, baseball, football. I mean,
you start getting into track.
Yeah, you start getting into track and golf and everything. And here's the thing: people don't realize. So we can use the USAPL for example. USAPL has like around what
10,000, 20,000?
Oh no, we're like 16,000+.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's like 17,000 members.
Now,
damn.
USA weightlifting is like 27,000, right?
What?
No. Here we go. Yeah. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Olympic curling is where it's going on.
USA curling.
Yeah.
It's like 35 going on 40,000.
That's insane.
And there's like 3 states that do it. It's like Minnesota, like Wisconsin,
Idaho. So you're gonna sit here and tell me like, oh, we should get a grip. Like, bro, we don't even have curling beat, bro.
Wait, shit.
How wild is that? Like, and there are other federations of powerlifting, but I think even if you add like the top 3 together, it's still like even, it's like 25 probably.
So I'm like, you know, you got to put in perspective, like, bro, I mean, as far as, you know, the impact that you're trying to make, I mean, I understand, you know, how people sometimes feel like, hey, man, we should be getting more. I mean, sometimes I feel that way. And then I also realize, like, hey, man, this isn't my livelihood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And aside from, you know, I'll put it this way, if Ray Williams has to work still.
Yeah.
You know You're going to have to work. I'm going to have to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I mean, all in all, I mean, it's just, we're just all on the same planet, man. Just everybody's trying to get it. You know.
Yeah, well, you're right in a sense, and I agree that the athletes should at least get taken care of travel and brought food. But like you said, if every USAPL athlete, all 15,000 of them, whatever, put that energy of hating into energy of making powerlifting cooler, right? So then we now we got 40,000. Okay, now we can start to petition for some of these things.
You know what? And shout out, you know, to USA Powerlifting because they. Like this is the first year. Like they sent your boy a shirt, a little champion shirt.
Okay.
They sent us a little change back. They gave us our entry fee back.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it may not be much, but the fact that they even tried to do it, that was dope.
Even that effort.
Know what I mean? And you know, I mean, you get SBD. The last couple of years they've been really holding me down. I mean, they were my first sponsor that I ever had. So I mean, you know, shout out to SBD because I mean, they, you know, they'll pay for a trip here and there. You know, they'll try to make sure that you're taken care of. You know, if you win, they might break you off a little change, whatever it is. But a lot of times, like kind of Mike talked about, you don't necessarily get money, say, from your federation. But I mean, if you have some sponsors that are, you know, that are generous and willing to hold you down, you know, they'll send you a little something.
Which goes back to your content, your creativity.
You know, and so you just have to be. I mean, but the thing is, I've never, even to this day now, like if somebody approaches me about sponsorship, the first thing I always ask them, well, what am I bringing to the table for you that's going to be beneficial for you?
Yeah,
I don't expect to get something for nothing. You know what I mean? Nor do I expect to do nothing and just get something. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're wanting to give me something for nothing, man, I don't know. What do you really want? What are you getting at? You want me to owe you?
Yeah.
And again, that's just me just being, you know, just naturally, you know, I'm just skeptical about a lot of things.
Yeah, a little skeptical, a little cynical.
Yeah, so why are you being so generous? You know what I mean? Some people they just have love like that. I've had many people like, hey man, I know you're a big time sneakerhead. Listen, man, my cousin owns a shop. Got these J's. If you want them, we got. Oh yeah, I already got those, but I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, but there's people out there that generally I would like to think that I would be that way. If I just had it like that, if I was just balling like that, there was a little dude like, hey man, you know, and I feel like I was OG status to the point like, hey man, Omar, you're a cool ass dude. Let me give you some change. Yeah. If I could do that, I would. Plug me, whatever, wear a shirt. I don't care, but like. I just feel like there's people out there that they're generous and want to help other people, but then for the most part, 9 times out of 10, they want something from you. They just, you know, they may not know what at that particular point in time, they just want you to owe them. And so you get that a lot, you know, so you're in a lot of people. I mean, I got a front. I get a lot of people asking me to do podcasts. Like, why you want me to do a podcast though? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just, I don't really know you. I don't really know, you know what I mean? But people just want it, you know what I mean? And everybody's popping at some point in time. And I mean, like, I got a few wins under my belt right now. So, like, I mean, I'm popping. But the day's going to come, but I'm not popping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, one of the things that, you know, actually Ryan Norris, we talked about, you know, at Jump Street was, this is so, I'm just random. I'm just going all over the place.
That's good.
One of the things that Ryan and I, we talked about at the beginning was like, you know, those people that are rocking you from day one, you know, those are the people you want to keep, you know, in your circle. You know what I mean? Those people that like, hey, when I didn't have anything, when I wasn't winning, when I was
missing benches,
you know what I mean? I was missing everything. Dude. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't jaded up. I wasn't cracking jokes. I was just like, oh man, am I going to get this? Like, you know, the first two people that ever showed me love was SBD, and SBD ended up sponsoring me on some messed up email shit. It wasn't even to SBD that I was sending the email to. That's it was amazing. SSPT.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? But I messed up the email and ended up going to SPD. I mixed up the two companies.
That's amazing.
They ended up holding me down. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wait, this is the same company sponsored Ray and Kim? I bet. Yeah. And I didn't look back. You know what I mean? And in my head, I told myself from that point, I'm like, you know what? At that time, I had got fourth at Russia. I was like, man, it's not like I'm a top 3 competitor. It's not like I even made podium. Next year, same thing. Next year, the same thing. Yeah. I was like, one of these days, I'm going to pay these dudes back for the time they invested into me. You know what I mean? And thank God I was able to, you know what I mean? And even then, like, I thought, all right, that's what's up. Then they're like, we want to give you more. I'm like, what? But okay, cool. You know what I mean? So like, but it, you know, same thing with Caffeine and Kilos. Like kind of we talk about, like, you know, off cast, like they were like, you know, the second people that show me love. I mean, they were a big company. You know, I'm like, oh my God, like Caffeine and Kilos, they're killing the game. And you know, everybody's rocking them and blah, blah, blah. And they send me these big box and, you know, these notes and everybody's super cool. And I'm like, you know what, man, one of these days, you know, I'm gonna pay these dudes back for the love, you know? So, I mean, and it's just been cool. Like, you know, slowly but surely I've been able to kind of chip at it. Like, you know what, I'm gonna try to pay it forward with this. I'm gonna try to pay it forward with that. You know, people like, hey man, where'd you get that? Oh, that's Caffeine and Kilos, bro. Yeah, you need a copy. Yeah, let me go. You know, I'll at them and let you, you know. But it's just, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if you can show me love from Jump Street, I'm forever loyal.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that me and Ryan talked about, like, you know, and Ryan straight up was one of the first people once we started really kicking it. You let me know, like, dude, one day you're gonna blow up. Like one day your momentum's gonna pick up and people are gonna really start, you know, figuring out the type of person you are. Because I mean, you know, people see how you are, and because I'm, you know, don't get me wrong, at the time it was like, you know, it was, you know, people were really into just super intense lifters, like, I'll do this, you know what I mean? And
that's just my life.
Yeah, but that's what people are just into, like, and I'm not, that's not my steez. I just kind of go in there and just have a good time.
Yeah.
People didn't know a lot about me. They just know I was just this dude that lifted weights. That was it. You know what I mean? They saw the occasional shoe here and there. That was it. So, you know, and it just takes, you know, time, like, you know, after 2 or 3 years and people seeing the same thing over and over, oh, that's just how he is. That's how he rises, you know? And so, you know, I did a podcast here and there, talked to a few people here and there, you know, met a few people here and there, and, you know, and just getting to know people, you know, here and there, like, oh, well, I guess he's a pretty decent dude. Let's find out what he's about, you know, and then, I don't know, like your momentum, like, so, you know how it is, your momentum kind of picks up a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. And so you get these people approach out of nowhere, like, wait a minute, man, I reached out to you, like, hey, I don't want anything from you. I just want to, you know, teach me how you guys do this, or show me how you do this. Show me how I don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
You know, so, but those people didn't want to rock with me then.
Let me ask you this, Ellis, though. Where did that mindset first come from? Because it's a different mindset than a lot of athletes would personally take, if you know what I mean, where it's like, well, what are you going to do for me is the first question, rather than the first question you said is, what can I do for you?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
It's different, man. It's a different. Yeah. I will say this, around these parts, especially, I mean, Texas is Texas, but it's still kind of a southern place. It's always about like the hospitality, number one. It's all about, you know, making sure you take care of other people before yourself. You know what I mean? And of course, being in the South, it's you know, it's Bible Belt. It's you know, it's very, you know, not necessarily just Christian oriented, but it's just really more of a family first type of environment. And so it's family, obviously family comes first, taking care of others comes first, doing others as you would have them doing to you. That's just like the golden rule. So when people approach you, even outside of anything other than, like, you know, let's say you go to someone's house. Well, the first thing when you walk in the house, like, hey, we want something to eat, want something to drink, whatever, want to take care of you first. And then we'll get down to talking and everything else. But people want to make sure you're comfortable. They want to make sure you're taken care of. So when somebody comes to you, you know, regardless if it's, you know, sponsorship or if somebody just wants you to do a seminar, like, well, what can I do for you to make sure that this is the best situation possible? You know what I mean? And even, you know, even like with my first seminar that I actually like, my first seminar, I was like, all right, man, what do you want me to do to make sure, like, what are the things, like when I was working with Jordan in Canada, I was like, well, what's one of the first things, you know, that you want me to talk about? What are some things you want me to cover first? Yeah. So before we get to my agenda, the issues that, like,
let me make sure I got you covered.
What's something that you've been preaching and trying to hound on your lifters and your people that have been coming to your gym, your regulars, that you wanted me to make sure that I reiterate? I want to make sure that not only did they hear what you've already been saying, but I could add a little bit to what you've been saying to make sure that, you know, we're nailing home the advice you're trying to give. It's just one of those things where you have to put, I just feel like you have to put people in front of yourself. Like,
I noticed that, Ellis, when you made an Instagram post, and then some people try to politicize it, but you're just speaking how you feel, what you said about the detention camps, where you're like, man, this is terrible what's going on. It's like, just as a human being,
these are human
generosity,
beings, man.
And then someone's like, said about like the politics, like, well, you know, this was like in place like under Obama too. And you're like, I didn't mention anything about that. I literally just said,
no one cares. These kids aren't doing
it's like,
good.
man, I'm not trying to politicize this bullshit. It's like,
nah,
I said,
bro,
I see shit happening.
I see people pain, people hurting, and here's an opportunity for you as a human being to go and just help.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what side you're on, left, right. It's like you see something wrong happening or something you disagree with.
Man,
it's like
you can,
people
you know,
in need of help.
And here's a crazy thing was, we there's a couple of people that actually tried to, get with me and like, hey man, let's go down there. Let's try to make some change happen. Let's try to like at least go help these people.
Yeah.
It was flooded out.
Really?
Everything was flooded out down there. So like, and it was crazy because, and it's so weird how social media can be because people were, it wasn't even they were afraid to just say it on the comment, but they like DM me like, hey man, I just want to let you know, I read what you're saying and I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you guys couldn't do anything anyway because number one, everything's flooded out.
Yeah.
Number two, there's tons of volunteers here anyway. So feel free to help out if you want to. But I mean, as right now, like everything's just flooded. So it's like, oh, okay, well, you're there, let me know. And whenever things clear up, let me know and we'll be down there. Yeah, that never hit me back. So
that generosity though, Ellis, like I think the world just needs more of that that mindset where you keep saying it's like, what can I do for you? Or you say it's like, it's Texas like through and through. Like that. I think that the world could benefit from more of that.
And I say it's Texas, but I mean, that's just, I'm not going to front. Though there's no right way and wrong way of being raised, I feel I was raised right. Like my parents were just, even to this day, like they're still on me about, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Like they're just, it's never going to stop. But the thing that I just never wanted to do was just be that dude to like, because we've all done it. We've all been that person like kind of watched like, damn, that sucks, dude. God, that sucks. I would hate to be in that situation. Oh, well, click this channel and go to something else.
Yeah, it's like, that's a bummer. Anyway.
Yeah, and so stuff like that just, it hurts. It hurts to watch. Because I was that dude to watch over and over and over. Like, you know what? It's as simple. The one thing that social media does do, it holds you accountable in that if you're willing to write it and type it down, then you better be willing to do it. Because somebody's out there who's going to troll you or try to find you, and try to, hold you accountable for it. It's like, all right, bet. So once I put this on wax, once I write this down, once I press, send, then it's time to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once I just, made that decision, like, you know what, dude, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then it was all right, cool. Now that I posted it, now let's go find the other steps. All right, so it's flooded out. So I can't do anything for that one. All right. Well, here's some detention centers that you can donate stuff to.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that can't be done. All right, cool. Well, guys, here's some things that you can donate to.
Yeah.
All right, here's a GoFundMe you can go to. So it makes you dig a little bit deeper. And then that's when don't get me wrong, dude. I would love to have that LeBron money to fold. Sure. Because then I'm like, you know what, man, let me just, send X amount of dollars. But then at the end of the day, what's more important, the dollars that you send or you actually being there?
Yeah, some energy, some attention.
So it's not hard. I guess what I was going to say. It's not hard to care. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone cares to an extent, but to like extend that care beyond just like, I wish they could do better, to like, hey man, what can I do to help make it better? Even it's like a relationship, you know what I mean? Like the best relationships I've ever seen between like, even with my parents it wasn't the, hey, I had a bad day at work today. Oh, well, I got in a fight today, whatever. All right, cool. Well, we're having problems right now. All right, awesome. The coolest thing that I always hear my dad say, I always heard him say was, rather than, all right, well, what are you going to do to make it better, is what can we do to make it better? What can I do to help you make it better? What can we do to make the situation better? That's one of the dopest things.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do? I know that, Omar, I know you probably had the shittiest day, dude. And I know that, this is not acting right. This is not acting right. This is supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen. Product was supposed to sell this much. It didn't happen. I'm like, well, what can we do to try to help you out? What can we do to make it better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard. And most likely a person is like, you know what? I appreciate you, reaching out. But I mean, there's really nothing you can do. Like, cool. But I want you to know that you're not in this alone.
And it could be simple too. Just the act of reaching out, grabbing a beer or whatever.
It's just about, we're just not alone.
Yeah.
And as hard as people try to be, as unique as we all try to be, we're all the same fucking person, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always like, borrow a lyric from Eddie Vedder, man. He's like, I change by not changing at all. And that's the God's honest truth. We try to be so different from one another. Yeah. And we're not, dude. We have more similarities than we have differences. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, we're all going to die the same way.
Yeah. You're not going to keep your money in the casket.
No, man, we're all,
your body.
We are born alone. We're going to die alone. Yeah. As scary as that sounds. But at the end of the day, man, the only thing we are guaranteed is we're guaranteed death, and we're guaranteed an opportunity at happiness.
Yeah.
But the thing is how you choose to, it's how you choose to live your life. It's how you choose to extend that happiness amongst one another. So for me, it's just like, man, I just like kicking with people. I like people having a good time. I like, if it's an opportunity for me to help and I can, dude, just then go help. No. It takes more for me. It takes more energy for me to look at something and purposely ignore it than it does like, hey man, maybe I could just like send a, hey man, hope you're doing well.
That's a person of action though, because I think the news and media in general, the negativity can kind of make you grow apathetic over time. And you just see, you're like, well, that's enough. It's like, well, what can I do about this book? Yeah. And Mike and myself were actually talking about that on another podcast.
We were talking about, earlier we talked about Danny Lair and, shout out Danny and everybody, it's Kevin Kilos. But we were talking about Danny when we were up in Madison, like at the games. And, it was, early in the morning, we were just driving everything. And, and he's a deep thinker. He's so much more of a deep thinker than I even imagined. Like, dude, this dude he's like on another level of deep thinking in terms of just so outside the box, you know what I mean? And the thing is, I thought like, oh, this dude, he's outside the box as is, but dude, he was just like on some other level stuff. And Danny is like, right now, I feel like he and a lot of guys, I guess around our age, we're at a point in our lives where there's only so much you can do, with the concrete. You have to use those intangibles to make life a little bit better. And so the thing we talked about was just on this driving to the games was, just little things that require just a little bit of effort. That doesn't take much, the integrity. And something simple is like, he's like, I'll see a sock on the ground and I know like eventually somebody's going to pick it up, but something tells me I need to pick that thing up. So let me pick it up. I'll see a feather on the ground, no big deal, or a piece of paper on the ground or gum wrapper on the ground. I'm like, well, we're in the middle of, this big
sidewalk.
What's it for me to pick it up or what's for me to walk away from it? You know what I mean? He goes, but I'll pick it up every time now. Yeah. And I'm just like, but yeah, you know what I mean? That makes so much sense. So rather than it being, in this case, it's not necessarily a piece of paper on the ground. It's not necessarily a feather. It's not necessarily a sock. It's some person that's on social media. Sometimes it may be a cry for help. Sometimes it's not. I don't know. But it might be a person like, hey, man, it's a horrible day, blah, blah, blah. All right, what's up? All right, cool. Now, there's two ways of doing it, as far as I'm concerned. You can be that dude like, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and hit you on the comment and just blah, blah, blah. Or you can be that person that hits that DM like, hey, man, you know what I mean? Because the comments, whatever, comments to be seen. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
A comment's to be seen.
No. So what are you doing it for?
You know
like to be seen?
Are you doing it because like, I'm going to get a couple likes off this job? Yeah. Or are you really doing it because like, man, I actually care for the person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now then, you get people like yourselves, like, man, don't get me wrong. I'm sure like, dude, my DM blows up all the time. And I get tons of stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't know you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, eventually, sometimes they'll get answers. Sometimes they won't. But, I mean, if you're, you guys have way more followers than I do. So like, I mean, I'm sure people hit you all the time and sometimes you just can't get to. So you always risk the chance like, well, if I hit the DM, are they even going to see it?
Sure.
Yeah. But for me, I just feel like, just on some like man to man, like, dude, let me hit that DM because I want you to know that number one, I'm thinking of you. 2, I'm praying for you. Number 3, I love you. Number 4, if you need anything, I'm there. You know what I mean? And so sometimes sometimes they're strangers, sometimes there's people I know, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, that's just like, what harm is it?
Yeah, it's one small act.
Yeah, it's a small act. You never know. Man, if they pay that forward, them paying that forward might actually change someone's life. It might impact someone's life. But I mean, you're never gonna know if he's like, I'm gonna slide over to the next one. And so, like I said, with a lot of the stuff that I've run into with a lot of the people and a lot of the different issues that I tend to speak on, it's just stuff that's just near and dear to my heart, man. I'm like, dude, if I were in that person's position, a lot of times that's all it takes. It's like,
if trying to imagine what it's like.
Or I have been there.
Yeah, man.
I understand what it feels like to be 18 or whatever.
Yeah,
it might
you know what I
be.
mean? Like I here lately, it's just, I love powerlifting. Don't get me wrong, I love powerlifting to do, but I hate it because it's so much fanboy and so much fangirling over people. They're just regular people, bro. You know what I mean? And
they're not doing anything special.
Nah, man. Like, a dude asked me, it was yesterday, like at the meetings, and he getting a lot of like fanboy and everything. I'm like, man, I low key hate the term.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I am nobody to fan over.
Yeah.
I probably just lift a little weight. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might lift more than the average man here and there. You know what I'm saying? But the day's gonna come when I don't lift as much as anybody.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so,
and you had been the guy that didn't lift as much too.
Yeah, man.
That's
So I was
humility,
like,
bro.
man, we're all on the same rock, bro, just trying to make it. You know what I mean?
The third one from the sun.
Yeah, man. And we're just trying to get there, man. And the thing is, are we going to get there in this, in one whole piece?
Yeah.
Are we going to get there divided? And right now, everyone's just divided. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Over hypotheticals too. That's what makes me mad. Is like everybody's over hypotheticals.
Everyone's an armchair politician. You know what I'm saying? They're the keyboard warrior, and they're this. All of a sudden, they're this statistician that knows absolutely everything about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's absolutely amazing what the Google machine has been able to do in terms of providing us with this instant information as quickly as possible. But at the same time, there's so many idiots that have access to information and use it so poorly that, we set ourselves up for failure more so than not. The cool thing about having a library back in the day and being able to actually know what the damn Dewey Decimal System was and being able to go, from A to B and actually open up the source and an encyclopedia and a dictionary was that you have to put in the work.
You had to think about these things for 30 years, then write a book rather than instantaneous thought.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was just going to mention because, Mike, I heard your opinion and I totally get it about someone like Kanye is, I guess the biggest issue, and it's smart what you said when you said you can separate the person because we have that cult of personality where an artist means so much more to you than just an artist, right? Just the musician. Like for me, like Stevie Wonder or like someone like Prince is like, it's elevated beyond just a musician for me, right?
Yeah.
So you have that attachment.
Yes.
And I guess for me, just the difference where we brought up something about like, MJ, and that's why I hate the Hitler analogy, but just like deeds that people do, like ways that we think of things. Because there's another example, there's a death metal band, a black metal actually, my buddy, Nigel.
Yeah.
So Nigel listens to a lot of black metal.
Yeah.
And one of them, this Norwegian dude, he ended up killing, I think, either his bandmate or this and that. He's like, well, I'm not going to listen to their music now, right? Obviously, because it's like, how can I support that, like this person and what he's done? The extremes. But what I was going to say is when it comes to someone like Kanye, I guess the biggest thing that I was feeling, I'm like, you're just not thinking before you're speaking. Like just how dangerous that could be. It's like, MJ, MJ touched, let's say, some little boys, let's say, went down. It's like, is that going to inspire anyone else to start touching little boys? No. It's like, but Kanye not thinking before he speaks, is that going to make it more okay, normalized, maybe that type of way? I think so.
Well, and at the same time, like kind of piggybacking off what you said, like at no point in time did MJ ever like, yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? He was always like, no, that's ignorant. You guys are ignorant. I would never do something like that. I was a child, like that type of stuff. Whereas you have a lot of these cats that, they're red-handed. Absolutely red-handed.
Yeah.
And Kanye, he's had a pattern. It's just a habitual pattern of just saying the dumbest stuff and attacking people that are close to him, attacking people that used to put him on, probably like one of the saddest things even to this, I still can't watch it. I've watched half of it as when he was on the Sway, on that Sway interview, and he just attacked Sway. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, you can't belittle this dude. He's belittling the guy, just talking trash to him. And, and the guy was a meme for, I don't know how long that thing was. He was a meme for a minute. Yeah. It still is to this day. Yeah. Like you hear the audio clip, like, just uncomfortable.
It was awkward.
But like, that's his pattern. That's been his pattern over and over and over. And now the guy tries to double back. Months later, it's like, one time he said he didn't say that slavery was a choice. Now he's apologizing for saying that slavery was a choice. Like, man, it's too late, bro.
Yeah. And you should have thought about what you said before you said it.
Or shouldn't have said anything at all.
Yeah.
It's maybe even worse because he didn't say it and he tweeted it.
Yeah. Like,
which is a longer process than saying it. A lot of people speak without thinking.
He spoke.
He said he
tweeted
it. On that TMZ thing.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like
I thought he tweeted it first.
Yeah, I even because
it sounds to me like slavery was a choice.
It sounds to me like a choice, and I posted it. It's actually one of the most interactions I've ever got on Instagram.
Yeah, but politics or anything.
People try to soapbox like, bro, you're not gonna tell me a thing about slavery was a choice. I can promise you that. Like I can promise you that. In terms of my background, I'm like, dude, I come from slaves and from Cherokee Indians, so we can take it from
which way you want to talk about it.
We can take it from the Trail of Tears, or we can take it from slavery. Either one. Like I promise you're gonna lose on this one. So it's just hard when people, try to have an opinion on things that they have no
perspective and doesn't even concern them.
They know nothing of. Like, bro, I can tell you stories. I can tell you stories that directly passed down from my grandma who experienced it. You want to do that? You know what I mean? Like we can do this all day. So it's one of those things where people are so quick to speak on things that they know nothing of. just for the sake of being able to hear themselves speak. Because everyone's intelligent now. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Everyone's an expert. I don't know if you knew that.
I love when you said that armchair.
Google machine.
The way we gave an analogy way back, actually, in November when we started, it feels like in ways a lot of different things people want to talk about. It's akin to someone having a basic course, like just in terms of astronomy or this or that. It's like, all right, now you got to start teaching astrophysics at the PhD level. It's like, you don't know anything. Like you're 1,000 steps before knowing, but because we have a platform, then people speak.
Well, the thing is, if any idiot can have an audience, you just have to have one person that's willing to hear. That's it. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, hey, guess what? I did my first show. Guess what? Now I'm a coach. You know what I mean? Hey, I did my first meet. Guess what? I'm a coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, I think the difference now that I'm starting to realize, and again, I thank God that I'm getting older, man. I used to try to fight the whole, oh man, I'm getting older. I mean, everyone did. Like, oh, I'm getting older, man. I don't know about this. But the older you get, the more you realize you don't know a thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the more you read, the more you realize, hey, bro, I'm actually pretty stupid. I'm pretty ignorant to a lot of facts.
I got a lot more questions than I do answers.
Oh man, you know what I mean? And it's weird because like you think, I used to think, again, I think I was thinking young versus old. When you're young, you think the more that I read, the smarter I'm going to get. The older you are, like realize like the more that I read, the dumber I actually am. There's a lot that I don't know.
Because the dumber you realize you are.
You begin questioning, like Mike said, you start having far more questions than you do answers. And I said all the time, like, you don't realize that you don't know till you realize you don't know. Yeah. And when you realize that you don't know, that shit's scary, dude.
Yeah, it kind of is.
You know what I mean? So then you start searching for more answers. You know what I mean? And you tend to, I feel like I tend to be attracted to and hang out with and, gravitate towards those people that ask those same type of questions. I mean, everyone's searching for their space in space, but then, there's certain people that are out there like, dude, there's more out there. There's more to this. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to make this baller ass channel, but I want to make content that people are going to be able to listen to. I want to do this. I want to do that, but I want to make sure this is pertinent to somebody in some form or fashion. I'm not just doing this just to do it. And, the podcasts I tend to listen to, the people that I tend to follow, the people that I tend to really fanboy over, as I roll my eyes, are those people that tend to give that off. I like people that are trying to get it, man. I mean, it's such a general statement to say trying to get it, but I mean, that's just it. I mean, either you get it or you don't. Either you're making an attempt to get it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. At the end of the day, it's just like, man, for me, I don't really know what it is. I mean, I think overall it is just happiness, not up front. Happiness comes in so many different forms, man. But I mean, I'm happy when people aren't hurting. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy when, my mom's smiling. I'm happy, I'm saying when a kid that I had in class, his stomach's full and it's not empty and it's not growling. Like I'm happy when there's more smiles than frowns. Yeah. When people are making an effort, at the end of the day, it's just effort. You make more of an effort to put a check in the world than a negative, and I think you're all right. So I don't know, man. It's just, and again, kind of going back to Kanye, hate to bash him, yay, but it is what it is. This dude puts out more negatives than he does checks. You know what I'm saying? He puts out negatives, but he tries to claim them as checks. Yeah. They're not. That's cool. You drop shoes, that's fine. Yeah. Whatever. So, you know what I mean? Like there's business owners all over the world that drop different shoes, but they also do different, a ton of different other things that make sure they help out the community. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so you have an awesome label. Oh, that's dope. So there's Chance a rapper, but he's also trying to help schools in Chicago, the same schools the same city that you're from. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so, if you want to make yourself a celebrity and say that you're this voice of a generation that you
act like it.
Yeah, you got to act like it, man. Because this generation, again, we got some shit people in this generation. I'm not going to front. But there's also some amazing future leaders and current leaders in this generation that are trying to make a huge impact, but they can't do it by themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, because everybody, is on this like me type stuff, it's hard for an Omar, for a Mike to try to get it because there's somebody out there that's hating because you got something that they want. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get a lot more negative than you are positive. You know what I mean? So then it's up to those positive people like, hey, no. I got you. Actually, dude is actually a good dude. Actually, he does a lot of this. He does a lot of that. You guys are literally, I can't say me yet, but I mean, I feel like I'm on my way, but you guys are literally, you're living a lot of people's dreams. You know what I mean? And like kind of we talked about kind of off earlier, it's like, but for some people it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because the fact that, our job is not a 40 hours a week job. It's not.
24/7.
24/7. It's like the type of shit that wakes you up in the middle of the night like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But what if we did this though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the weird thing. That's when I knew like, hey man, it's different. This is a different lifestyle. I mean, we kind of talked about it on my podcast back in the day. It was like, man, it's just that day, it hit you one day like, bro, this is different. What we do is different.
Yeah,
you know
we're different people.
We're super different people.
Yeah.
We're not built the same, and it's not that it's a bad thing. It's not that, people that can get up and go to a 9 to 5 and work their ass off every day, all day. And when the weekend comes, they can like, all right, forget work. Let's do this 2.5 days and let's start all over again. I can't do that. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I mean, honest, that type of structure and that type of security seems so amazing in terms of structure and security.
Sure.
But
your brain.
Man, dude, like for me, like to be able to not to be able to wake up and roll over, pick up a MacBook, I'm like, all right, you know what, we do this, do that. Because you have your set schedule, but every day I'm excited. I put it that way.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
Every day I'm excited because you never like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, do I have to work from my crib? Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Let's go to Belize.
We spoke about that before, spontaneity of being missing from the world, where the ability to do anything, create, and be creative, I think is something that a lot of humans find very fulfilling.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that you're able to, I think what separates, I'm starting to see, I should say, from a lot of, at least from the fellas and ladies that I follow, a lot of the really good content that I'm starting to see, a lot of the really great, impactful content that I'm able to, to find. There are people that are able to, rather than let the inspiration find them, they can go find their inspiration. So it may be, it may be in California, it might be in Toronto, it may be in Austin, it may be in South Africa, it could be anywhere in the world. But like, you know what? If it costs for me to go to that spot to find it, let's do it. And it's a different vibe.
Yeah, that's that hunger or whatever it was you were talking about too.
You got to be willing to go out and do it. But and that's the thing that it's inspiring me to watch you guys do your thing. I'm like, yo, man, that's fire. Where is this in Austin? That's what's up.
Now we're in Austin.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna do it in Austin. That's cool. I mean, I might do mine in San Antonio because it's right down the street from my house. But hey, I'm stuck at the crib. But I mean, it's cool to watch everybody trying to get it. And I think more so now. I think at the beginning, I was afraid to do content. I was afraid to do a lot of just venturing beyond my doorstep because, you're like, well, my shit doesn't look like his and it doesn't look like hers. I'm like, oh man, that's real. Oh, look at those transitions. Oh man, you know what I mean? But I mean, man, I can't afford that dude though. And I can't afford that guy, you know what I mean? But the one thing I have, that is I'm super friendly and I can make friends with everybody, and you make friends with people long enough. It's crazy. Like you start making friends with people this long enough, then they just want to help you just because they want to help.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll see them through that transition so sick. And it'll be something simple as like, I'll message Zach, dude, that transition that you put up was so fire. And then Zach Kraft's like, well, I'll show you how to do it. What? Yeah. Like, for real? There's people that pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's cool to just be able to be in an extended circle of people that are trying to get it. Everyone's trying to do it. And we're all some are further than others, but we're all at the stage in our lives and our careers where we're trying to keep growing. And we're not people aren't so big and so far beyond everybody that they can't, that the spider web's like, I'm going to pluck myself out of spider web. I'm actually my own entity now. Like we're still all in the same.
Hopefully we over me.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's like, we're this team, you know what I mean? And so when you see somebody getting it, seeing somebody doing well, you're like, yo, go do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. There's been a couple times. I mean, it's no secret. Like I'm the world's biggest crybaby, dude. But I'll see like Meg Squats is out there eating right now. She's doing her thing. So she had the thing going with Target right now. I'm like, say word. I shared a single tear. I'm like, do that, man. Do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's one of those things where like, all right, do I hit your DM or do I hit your comments? Like, you know what, man? I'm going to wait till I see you. Well, I'm gonna hit Ryan and tell her, hey Ryan, tell your girl she's killing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you see people doing well, man. And sometimes it's it's just funny because you're like, yo, no, he's out there doing that thing, or she's out there doing it, and you can only just like
clap,
clap for him, do the old
Rudy is that
Charles S. Dutton Rudy clap, walk away, man, because it's it is what it is. And I think at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to be comfortable enough as a man, as a woman, as a creator, as a person, to see someone else doing well and not hate. And just be like, you know what, do your thing, man. Like I'm excited for what you do. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I at this point in life, man, like I'm too old to be a hater. You know what I mean? Like really, let's be honest, man. We got one go around in this life, man. And if you spend most of your time hating on somebody or trying to be this keyboard warrior, you look like
wasting
energy. So much time.
You'll realize maybe one point in the future, like 10 years from that point, it's like, damn, I wasted my whole life.
It don't matter then, because by that time, that person you were hating on, they're like eating real nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it's a cool thing, man. Like this little life that we live, man. If you do it right.
Once is enough.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need reincarnation.
Like, I don't think so. He's like, I don't think so.
Live a couple lives, bro. I'm into it. We got to let you get off. You got class to coach, I think.
Oh man.
Oh, you're skipping.
I'm skipping. No, I like all the wisdom that I heard, and I think Mike and myself had a previous conversation in another podcast, just talking about. We went in about like the future of humanity, like this and that, a whole bunch of different things. Like what can we all do better to contribute? And so we basically came to the conclusion at the end that in the end we're all responsible for one another. But if we could find things that we care about, whatever that takes form, and just try and give a little bit more.
Yep.
As a whole, it would just make everything better. It won't make anything worse. It can only make everything better.
Well, yeah, it's the part that cracks me up. And me and Ron, we've talked about this a few times, man. And actually, he's actually my first episode of my podcast coming up. But one of the things that we talked about was we're already so innately selfish, and we're already like it's off bat. Like we're just self-serving. That's just how it is. The one thing that we forget to do in terms of being a selfish individual is actually taking care of ourselves. Not necessarily self-preservation, so to speak, but actually taking care of yourself. Doing the right thing for yourself to make sure that you set yourself up in the best position possible, right? Yeah. Now, if you just we call it take care of home, basically. If you take care of home, number one, it's so much easier, not necessarily to reach out and help other people, but you're less likely to criticize and try to, overstep your boundaries with other people because you're too busy making sure that you have your T's crossed and your I's dotted. So then when you do reach out to somebody, it's with good intention. It's to make sure that they're doing well as well. So simple, right? That pays forward, that pays forward, that pays forward, that pays forward. And the next thing you know, you
percolate, Mike.
And that's it. It's that simple.
And humans are weird because we are innately so selfish, but we don't always care about ourselves.
Yeah.
And there's a definition there, where like people don't, like even the fattest, unhealthiest human, a lot of them, let's just hypothetically say, put themselves there, right? Mm-hmm. They're eating the bad foods. They're not caring. They're not showering. They're not even sending out positivity like you're talking about to other people. They put themselves there, but they still think about themselves first.
Oh yeah.
They're still doing everything they do for them, but they're not taking care of themselves. So if you can be selfish, sure, that's a little bit just inside of us, but you care about yourself too. Then you put in some of the positivity you talk about.
Instead of being selfish, maybe self-care. It's so much easier to care for oneself and then be selfless in terms of trying to help other people.
Sure.
But people are so quick, rather than my selflessness is not necessarily selflessness. It's me trying to talk down to you and talk at you rather than trying to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, we're so hypersensitive to everything nowadays anyway. You could be actually telling me something that's really going to benefit me, but we don't see it as constructive criticism. We see it as this dude is attacking me.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm like, man, the world could go so much further with just a little bit thicker skin. Just a little bit thicker skin and just a little bit being a little bit less self-absorbed and just being more, concerned with just the betterment of your fellow man. But it is what it is. I'm on my Mahatma Gandhi right now.
No, I love it. Let me ask you this, Alice. What's next for you?
Oh, well, I got a couple meets coming up. That's, I guess physically wise, yeah. Bench Nationals coming up in a week and actually 6 days. Oh yeah, watercolor, let's get it. And then Raw Nationals in a month, and a little bit of chill time. I think I'm headed to California to help a couple of my buddies at a couple of their meets. just honestly, man, just a lot of reading, working on a lot of content. Actually, you know, you run into that problem when you have more content and you have more ideas and more content than you're able to put out.
Time, yeah,
dude. And so right now it's just like I don't know how much. I have like at least 20 episodes worth of content that I need to edit and get together. But like I said, you get to a point where you want to do so well with it. That, you know, so, but aside from that, man, that's really it, man. Just, you know, trying to be a better human being, dude. I want to be a better man. Like, that's been my big thing. I'm not going to front. Like, I mean, aside from everything else, you know, I want to be the best man that I can be. Like, I think the older I get, the more I like look at my dad and how just amazing of a man he is. Like, dude, I can do that. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's, you know, it's just weird because your goals that you used to have in terms of like physical, like, oh, I want to do this and that. Well, everything that I've ever wanted to do physically, I've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything I've ever wanted to win, I've won. So now it's like, all right, man, I mean, what can I do to save my soul? What can I do to make myself a better person? And I mean, that just requires a lot of just like self-assessment, man.
Yeah,
a lot of
inside energies.
A lot of looking in the mirror, man, when you like really try to figure out who you are as a person. You know, so in order to be a better man, you got to find out the parts about you and identify the parts about you that you don't like.
The deepest, darkest parts that we keep hidden.
You got Most of Your Content's podcast. Where can people find you? Social medias,
everything's
podcast,
everything's LS Mclain. Everything.
Easy.
Yeah, man. I try to make it easy. You know what I mean? I learn from other people. Like,
yeah.
You got to
standardize that shit.
Listen, bro. You LS. That's it. It's hard enough for them to figure out.
It's just the letters. LS.
It's just
LS and then Mclain.
Yeah, LS Mclain. That's it. Yeah, I learned my lesson.
Easy money, man. Thanks for chilling.
Hey, man. I appreciate you guys, man. You're killing it.
And we'll just close out by saying thank you to everyone for listening to the Mama's Boys podcast. You can listen every Tuesday and Friday and help us out by taking 2 minutes of your time to leave a rating and review on iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, you could throw that like and leave a comment in the comment section below what you thought. We'll catch you in the next one.